I have to say, when I started my ag career, gender was an issue. The job interviews were awkward, the lack of respect for women in the field, and the stereotyping was quite frustrating, actually. Being from the city certainly didn't help me, and I was told by some of the dealers, I called them, that you'll never last. My male colleagues were skeptical too, and I put long hours, long, hard hours, trying to keep ahead of them. I recently read an article in an employee equity newsletter written by a woman whose current position is as supervisor in a pork processing plant. And she wrote about some of her first job experiences, saying, "Being one of only a few women wasn't something I noticed much. I never felt like I was treated differently from men." Not so 35 years ago in Western Canada. Fortunately, the world of corporate agriculture has changed, though, and women are having experiences more like the woman in that article. Women possess all the qualities, the behaviors, the skills and abilities that make any person a successful leader. Much of the change has been a result of a generation of hiring managers who have seen the merit in the diversity of having women in the discussions, on the initiatives, in the work groups. But I think most of the change has come about because women just possess those qualities corporate employers are looking for, and those great qualities go well beyond gender. So with so much change in the workplace, what could I possibly tell you about my past experiences that are still relevant? Well, firstly, I'd like to say, don't dwell on differences. Now, Linda said earlier that women and men are different, and they are. Because corporate employers today are strong supporters of diversity of all kinds, including gender diversity, the differences between men and women in the workplace are far less than you might think. For every woman nurturer, I've seen a man nurturer. For every woman who's gotten emotional, cried in my office, I've had men get emotional in my office. Men and women are far more alike than I first believed. So most of us know the importance of a mentor. In my experience, there is no more important time to listen to a mentor is when you're at a career crossroads. And I have found this to be particularly true of women. For some of my most significant career moves, the ones that really took my career in a substantially better path or direction, those are the ones I was reluctant to make because of my insecurities. I just didn't think I had the ability. And in those cases, someone came along, a mentor, the hiring manager, a trusted advisor, and said, "Fran, I know you can do this. You have the ability." And they were right. I listened, and by listening to that person's coaching, I overcame those uncertainties. I discovered that they saw what I didn't see, and I found I was able to take a role that I thought I wasn't capable of, or I thought was too soon. Another little bit of tidbit of advice I'd say is stay focused on your career even during life's distractions. Now, for women and for men, though generally more for women, our desires, societal expectations, personal needs require us to take the lead on childcare, elder care, or some of the family duties. Less so in the women I encounter in the workforce today, I must say, but the situation certainly still exists. These responsibilities oftentimes alter a person's ability to stay on a career path, and I recall that situation in my own career when, after 7 years of pretty intense career focus, my husband and I chose a lifestyle that would keep me home more with my children. I found that by operating a home-based business, I was able to continue in my career. And then 12 years later, my career step was not nearly so steep as would it have been if I had stayed disconnected. Attention to career planning, I think, really pays off, and it gets you focused on developing your skills for your current job and gets you ready for your next one. But from my experience and from watching others' careers from the sideline, good career paths are not always about good planning. Sometimes plans get trumped by serendipity. My advice, certainly have a career plan, but be flexible enough for the unforeseen, because it will happen. Lastly, I suggest that you work for an inclusive organization, one that values diversity. You will no doubt come across, or you are coming across, organizations where you are uncomfortable and you may not feel valued. You don't experience the openness that you expect. That's when it's time to have the wisdom to know that you're not in the right organization and have the courage to make a change. In closing, I am very optimistic and positive about the future of women in agriculture. I have met women who are not stopping to think about the fact that they are a woman any more than a man is stopping to think that he's a man. Women who love the good work they're doing. They love the contribution they're making. They are staying focused on their careers and their development. And as though women face some challenges that their male counterparts don't, most of the ones I encounter are taking them in stride. I hope you are, or you soon will be, one of those women. Thank you.